Hello, and welcome back to the Daily Grace channel. My name is Katie, and I am so happy to see you here today. Guess what, friends? It is officially back to school season. The fall decor is slowly making its way into stores. Pumpkin spice lattes are almost back in town, which I personally am very excited about. And while the summer heat is still making itself known, I'm sure many of us are awaiting the changing leaves. Now, while the school year brings all these wonderful elements of a new season, it can also bring a lot of busy schedules and new commitments. In today's video, we are going to chat about different ways that you can incorporate time for the gospel into the pockets of your day so that you can make this school year one that is gospel-centered and rooted in Jesus. Let's dive into it. Tip number 1 for doing this is to spend some time in the Word every morning. With after-school activities, homework, clubs, and part-time jobs filling up the hours of many evenings, finding time to spend in the Word can be difficult. Something I personally found to be wonderful is getting up a little bit earlier in the morning and diving into the Word first thing. Now, for all of you night owls and non-morning people like myself, it may take some time to form this habit, but once you do, it is such a refreshing way to set your mind on God every morning. Let us do as Psalm 90:14 tells us and ask God to satisfy us in the morning with His steadfast love, that we may rejoice and be glad all of our days. Tip number 2 is to listen to worship music or sermon or podcast as you get ready. This is another great way to spend time with God in your mornings. Whether you're hopping in the shower, doing your makeup, doing your hair, or making breakfast for your kids, having worship music or a sermon playing in the background of your mornings is such a great way to fill your home or your dorm room with things that focus your heart and mind on the Lord before starting your day. Tip number 3 is to put an encouraging card or note in your kid's lunchbox or backpack. Now, this tip is obviously specifically for the moms out there who have kiddos in school. One of the sweetest ways you can fill your children's hearts and minds with biblical encouragement throughout their day is by doing this. You can write these yourself, or we actually have created some here at the Daily Grace Co. We'll have them linked in the description box below for you to check out. Now, whether they're having a hard day or just need a little bright spot, finding a hidden note from their mom or dad may be just what they need to pick them up that day. Tip number 4 is to pray with your kids or by yourself on your morning commute. Make the most out of your morning drive time or walking in class time by praying. Pray for your day, pray for your kids, pray for your classmates, pray for your campus, pray for every stranger walking by. The options are endless. As Paul tells us in 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18, we should rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. So spend each free moment of travel during your school days doing just that. Tip number 5 is to encourage one classmate or teacher every single day. In Romans 12:10, the Apostle Paul tells us to outdo one another in showing honor. While John 13:35, Jesus tells us all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another. One way to incorporate Jesus into every school day is by showing his love to those around us. Taking time to offer a quick word of genuine encouragement to a classmate or teacher is just one simple way to do that. And our final tip, tip number 6, is to remember that your worth is never dependent on school performance. In Christ, you are already loved and accepted. Now, this is a word for all of the overachievers and for those who might not thrive in a classroom environment. Remember this, your worth and identity is not wrapped up in what you can achieve. As John 1:12 and Galatians 3:26 tells us, your identity is a child of God through Jesus Christ. And as Ephesians 2:10 says, you are God's workmanship. When he knit you in your mother's womb, he knew the talents and gifts you would bring to this world. But he never said your identity should be rooted in the success and failures of the works you do with them. Now, don't get us wrong. It is wonderful to work hard and to push yourself to do your best. But you should never place the validation of worldly success above the identity we have in Jesus. You are loved and valued for being a child of God alone. And there you have it, friends. Those are just 6 simple ways that you can cultivate a gospel-centered school year. Which of these tips are you hoping to incorporate? Let us know in the comments below and share any other tips you've personally tried. We want to hear all the ideas. Thank you again for chatting with me today, and we will see you next time.